Hi, my name is Judith Reidy, and I want to introduce to you my business partner and friend, John Chowanec, who has an amazing story to tell. John and I have been business partners for over 10 years. We've been through a lot of stuff together, and his story really made an impact on me, and I really want you to hear it too. John?
Hello, my name is John Chowanec, and I've had an experience with COVID-19 through my brother. And just to back up the story a little bit, I guess when I first started looking at COVID-19, I was not concerned about it, not too worried about it. And then when I got a call about 7 days ago, it really hit home. I was called by the doctor from the hospital that my brother had been taken to West Ellis Memorial Hospital. And the doctor wanted me to go over with me what they wanted me to do with my brother. And I said, "What do you mean?" And he simply says, "He's not lucid. He's hardly breathing. We don't expect him to make it through the night. If he does make it through the night, we don't expect him to live. And we were just wondering if we should put him in hospice if he gets to that point, if he lives through the night." And that's the way the conversation was presented to me. Needless to say, getting a call like that, and having the doctor being very candid with you and going right into why he was on the call with you, and was breathtaking and very hard to hear. After he had expressed those things, we had a long conversation, and I thanked the doctor for all the time he spent with me on the phone after he had given me the bad news. I then called my family members, my brothers and sisters. Actually, I called my two sisters, and they called my two brothers to inform them that my brother Walt would probably not make it through the night. I think the message I want to put out there is until it hits home, until it gets close to home and it comes to a point where it's somebody close to you, you sometimes don't take this virus very seriously. I've watched the virus since the start of it when our president said it was going to disappear back in February, and I was hopeful, and now we're at 140,000 deaths. But the story continued with my brother. The next day, I called back, and the doctor called me, and we were going to go over what we were going to do with my brother at that time. And he says, "Well, he had a change in how he's doing." And I says, "What actually happened?" He says, "Well, we gave him a drug called, and if I might say this wrong, Radizimir, and it had an effect on him where he became more lucid, and he was doing better." And then the doctor said to me, "It looks like he's got a good chance of making it at that point." Well, the story continues. The next day it was up, the next day it was down, then it was up, and then it was down, and I never knew where he was. And then just 2 days ago, he was taken in intensive care because he got so bad. And then I was talking with the nurses, which were great at the hospital. They spent time talking to you. They were very compassionate. And I knew they were taking care of my brother, and I thanked them for that. And but the impact it has on you to go onto that coaster ride and hearing your brother's going to die, then he's going to live, then he's going to die. Now he's not doing too good. Then he's on oxygen at 100%, and then now so the story just continued up and down, up and down, up and down. The latest is he's on a thing called an Aquaflow machine, I believe if I'm saying that correctly, which is something that they put over the nose and forces air into the lungs. And he also had a plasma transfusion, and he's still on the drug Radizimir. And he's doing better. He's now instead of being at 100% oxygen, he's at 50%. And he has, I've been able to talk to him on the phone because of the machine he's on is just an oxygen mask over his nose, so he's able to actually take phone calls. I know my sisters and my brothers have been calling him, and that's given him and also an uplift in wanting to fight the virus. And the last thing that I would say is that this morning he had called me on the phone and wanted to know what was going on and when he could come home and did he still have a place to live. But it's something that you want to take very seriously. And since this time, I've been wearing a mask everywhere I go and just watching out. And I do this for the sake of protecting other people as well as protecting myself. But until you go through it, or until you have somebody in your family go through it, or until you have somebody close go through it to you, and you understand all the pain and suffering there, because he was in a tremendous amount of pain. His bones ached. He was having a hard time breathing. He couldn't eat. He just laid there in bed. He was lethargic. And when you talked to him, you could hear the pain in his voice. It gives you a sense of how serious this virus is, and that you need to take care of yourself, and you need to take care of the people around you, and you have to be aware that if somebody gets it, yeah, they might be lucky, and they might be asymptomatic and not even know they have it, or they might get very sick, or they might pass away. But before they pass away, they might spend 90 days in intensive care and extreme pain, not having anybody around them except nurses and doctors, and not seeing their family anymore. It's a difficult position to be in. It's also a difficult position to accept the phone call every day from the hospital, not knowing what you're going to hear, and then to inform your family members. And, it's a really emotional roller coaster. So my message to you is stay safe, wear a mask, stay distant from people when you're talking to them. Be aware that you could spread it or you could catch it. And if you spread it, you may not know you've spread it to somebody, and that person could die. Or you might get it and then bring it into your family and cause all kinds of problems for your family members or people that you're around. And that would be my message to you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate that you would share that. I know it was difficult for you to share, and I was there when you first got word about this, and you've gotten word many times. And I know how difficult this is. You know I've talked to a lot of you about this, and I know some of you have argued with me about this just being like the flu, but it's not. It's not just like the flu. You get the flu, maybe, you get diarrhea for a day or two, you have a headache, but it affects so many parts of your body. It affects your lungs, can affect your cardiovascular system, and it's a painful disease. It's bad. So please wear a mask and care about your neighbor. Thank you.